Good evening and welcome back to the Man's Bar. It's me, your host, James the Man's Man, and tonight we're going to do a straight Kentucky bourbon. I'll show you which one right after this. And we're back. Before we continue with tonight's video, I ask that everyone who's watching, please click the subscribe button and ding the bell icon so you get notifications when I upload new videos. Also, if you feel so inclined, you can follow me on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. I'm not as active on Twitter as I'd like to be, but on the Facebook and the Instagram, we post pretty regularly. Now that that's out of the way, let's get to tonight's straight Kentucky bourbon. Knob Creek. That's what we're doing tonight. This is what does the bottle tell us? Well, the bottle tells us this is a small batch, product of the United States, dings in at 50% alcohol by volume, or this would be 100 proof. And let's see what happens when we open her up. Alright, before we pour first glass, you'll notice that it has a synthetic cork. You can kind of, mostly on this, I can just smell rubber and alcohol. It doesn't really take the scent the same way that a real cork would. I get like a toasted caramel corn. Yeah, that's what I'd get on the nose, is like the Cracker Jack kind of popcorn with the caramel on it. Smooth! No, I'm just kidding. Although it does ring in at 50%, the actual burn, the feeling of alcohol in the back isn't really that powerful. And it's got a pretty smooth flavor on the palate. I'm picking up quite a bit of butterscotch and vanilla notes, along with, don't want to say fire, but that's what I'm leaning towards. More like a toasted kind of, there's a toasted feeling I'm getting. Toast, vanilla, butterscotch, those are the kind of toffee. I'm getting rich flavors like that in this. Definitely those rich flavors, plus you can feel it. Alright, I've made myself up a Knob Creek and Pepsi. I'm a Coke drinker, my wife's a Pepsi drinker, so I'm out of Coke. On the nose, I'm just getting pop pretty much. It brightens it up a bit. The pop lightens it. It brings it from this place down here where, and I don't mean down here in a bad way. I'm not saying score-wise or quality down here. I'm just saying it brings it from a place down here where you can really feel the alcohol. I'm talking about the intensity of the alcohol, and it brings it more up here. It's actually, I can taste the alcohol less in this than I could in the Jack and Coke. So if you're looking to just drink whiskey and Coke, this is going to mess you up because it is 50%. It's, what is it, 5 or 10? I'll put a note up here when I check the bottle of Jack. Makes it that much, you're going to drink more of this than you would Jack Daniels, so I'm going to tell you that much. And let's move on. So we busted out the bitters, and we brought out the vermouth. That's right, you guessed it, another Manhattan variation today. This time with the Knob Creek. spicy, like cinnamon. A lot of the vermouth really takes the forefront, and I've said before in the past, word vermouth's taken the forefront, and that's been a good thing. The vermouth is basically, in this way, not so much a good thing. It's kind of cutting the flavor of the whiskey in a way I don't like. It's pardon me. Basically, I'm getting the high alcohol burn of the whiskey in the vermouth, and I'm just getting the whiskey. Sorry, I'm getting the vermouth flavor, and I'm getting the worst bits of the vermouth flavor. It's like the good of the vermouth and the good of the whiskey in this flavor cancel each other out, and you're left with the subpar undernotes of the tones. I'm getting. It was almost unpleasant. It was actually pretty unpleasant to taste that. I'll go back for one more just for you guys. It's almost too sweet. It's too sweet. It's too sugary. There's no balance to it. There's no contrast. It's just vermouth and whiskey. Okay. Now that we've let the first one open up, let's see what this is like. Toffee. I get toffee right away. Ooh. Really rich. Yeah, I'm getting a lot of those flavors. Toffee, a little vanilla. It's really down there. It's what I've noticed a lot. The recurring theme in the bourbons is the toffees and the vanillas. It's I almost need to be alone with this right now. It's actually hitting the spot. So we'll move on to the scorecard.
Alright, so we have a typo on here. The Knob Creek was supposed to get an 8 out of 10 on the rocks because it is delicious. I loved it. It gets a 7 out of 10 as a pop mixer. It's pretty good. I've had better, I've had worse, but it is pretty good. It gets a 4 out of 10 as a cocktail, making it just as bad as Jack Daniel's. It's just really unimpressive and a letdown in the cocktail setting. Overall, that brings it to a 63, and it is, again, delicious on the rocks. That's where this shines.
Alright, we're back from the scorecard. Tonight we looked at Knob Creek Straight Kentucky Bourbon. Now, like always, I tasted it off 3 ways, told you what I thought about it. I like it. Do I recommend you have a bottle of this? Yes. Yes, I do. I feel that it stands up well to other bourbons in its price range, and it's very, very good on its own. Now, I'll be honest with you. There are times when I come home from work, and I'm just not feeling it. I don't know if you know what I mean when I say feeling it, but I have to start with something a little lighter. I might have a Maker's Mark or a Old Forester, and then when I go for my second glass, I'll switch up to the Knob Creek. Most of that is because of the high alcohol content on the Knob Creek. I don't necessarily want to drink too much if I'm just having 1 or 2 cocktails or whiskeys after work, before supper or before bed. So usually I'll have it as my second drink, and then I'll call it quits. The other thing is, I feel like I need to ease into it because it's so strong most of the time. The last couple occasions I have gone straight to it, but I like to ease into it. I like to start off with something just a little lighter, and then work into something just a little heavier. So those are my thoughts, and I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please remember to click the subscribe button down below. Ding the bell icon so you get notifications. And have yourself a great day. Oh, you know what? Go down in the comments. Tell me what you thought of it, if you've had it. I hope you have had it. I like it. Anyways, I'll see you next week in the man's bar.